What is good, you guys? I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. What's up, Jess? What's up? It's been all right. So, unfortunately, red day for the boy, but it's not too bad. Down 1.1K today, which, overall, I can't complain. It was a beautiful week last week. Um, obviously, annoying way to start your week, but it is what it is. We had some very, very nice trades to end the week. Friday was actually what was that? 30%, 27%, something like that. Yeah, 27% on Friday. 10%, 17%, 11%, 12% before that. So we're all good. But yeah, so the trades I took today, Tesla obviously tried it here on this candle. We ended up getting wicked out of this almost immediately. Tried it again on the retest, wicked back down, stopped out as well. And then AMD, I know a lot of people took profits on it. I was personally just in with a light enough size that where we were at really didn't even make sense for me to take profits. And I wanted to see at least my first target on this before I took any off the table. AMD, we did get a nice break, and I did warn everybody multiple times. I said, hey guys, I'm not looking to take anything off until we get to my first target. When you're comfortable, take profits. If you want to take profits, take profits. I made sure to emphasize that multiple times, and I said, I'm just not in this heavy enough for this to be a crazy play or any reason to take any off the table right here. But we did get a nice little move on AMD. Overall, it is what it is. I hate when we start weeks like this, but some choppy price action off the bat for Tesla today. The video was better this morning. Tesla moved a bit weird. Yeah, Tesla was moving very, very sporadically, kind of all over the place here. Like we would have our strength and we would immediately lose that, immediately regain that, immediately lose it again. I mean, we did end up following through eventually, but yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that you take what the market gives you, and sometimes the market gives you some unpredictable price action. So otherwise, everything kind of stays the same as what I talked about yesterday at last night's lesson, if you guys were there. News for this week is what I want to go over first. And tomorrow we have 9 a.m. news. We have consumer confidence at 10. We have JOLTS at 10. So we have news 30 minutes into the market, and that should warrant some type of reaction. So even if we have some gross price action up until that point, 10 a.m. we should definitely be able to see a nice boost in something, whether it's direction or just an overall extra kick in the butt for the momentum there. Whatever we gotta see, but 10 a.m. should provide that for us tomorrow. Wednesday we have GDP pre-market, Chicago PMI 15 minutes in, personal income at 10, pending home sales at 10, petroleum status report at 10:30. So Wednesday is pretty full of news. Thursday, we've got jobless claims pre-market, PMI manufacturing final 15 minutes into market open, ISM manufacturing index at 10 a.m., construction spending at 10 a.m., natural gas report at 10:30. And then Friday, we have motor vehicle sales, and there's not a time listed for that, but factory orders at 10, and that's what we've got for Friday. So overall, pretty packed news week. And earnings for this week, I made a video about this yesterday, but the earnings I'm paying attention to: Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Apple, MSTR, and Airbnb. So Microsoft and Meta we have after close on Wednesday. Amazon, Apple, MSTR, and Airbnb we have after close on Thursday. So that is what I'm looking at earnings wise. So that does take a few stocks off the table for me, especially since MSTR has been one that we've been playing quite a bit recently. So this one's obviously just kind of on the back burner until earnings come out. And yeah, I mean, other than that, business as usual. Just a pretty packed news week, so I can understand the back and forth price action for sure. As far as the charting session goes, we'll go ahead and get into this. I'm going to be going through my watch list A to Z, figuring out what I like, what I don't like for tomorrow and the rest of the week. So starting off here with Apple, I am not opposed to Apple at today's high at 211.50. Once we get back up here, we'll have a flat top at that 211.50. But the next level I'm looking at for Apple, next big important level would be 215. Between here and there, though, this 212.94 doesn't look bad either. So we've got actually pretty clean looking setups here on Apple. I usually don't pay too much attention to this. Oh, actually, now that I'm thinking about that, we literally just talked about the fact that Apple has earnings. So these are probably all going to get taken out with earnings. Contracts, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, contracts are not too bad price-wise, but just knowing the IV is higher due to earnings is going to throw a little bit of a wrench in that. But this actually might be one that I would be interested in despite the fact that we do have earnings, because even with these contracts being juiced up as far as the IV goes, we're still talking like $200, $300 contracts, and they still have good volume. So that's something I would just have to see in the morning how they're moving. But moving on, I know Airbnb has earnings. AMD, this 97.10 level that we were looking at today, I am not a fan of anymore. Next thing I would be looking at for this is 97.87 to the upside. So I'm going to leave AMD marked because I know we've got something there. Amazon, we have earnings on. And not really any setups there anyways. BA. BA 184.53. What does this look like? Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna pass on that. Back up here to AVGO. 193.37 looks really nice on this actually. We played AVGO not too long ago, and those contracts did move very, very nicely. So, yeah, I would definitely not mind taking a look at this. I'll leave AVGO marked. BA unmarked. Baidu, nope. Coin. I personally am not a fan of really anything on Coin for the next little while here, because we've got this gap that we need to close first, but the room between where the gap is starting now and where the gap would close is just not enough to even warrant taking a trade on that. Up until above 220, I'm really not interested on Coin, and to the downside, it would be below 190, so we're pretty far away from both directions here. Crowd, nope. DAL. Disney, let's see. What do we have going on here? Not a whole lot. I feel like we haven't had a Disney setup in like very, very long time. I feel like we haven't taken a Disney setup at all, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Like within the past year or since the floor has started. I don't think I've taken a trade on Disney at all. Unfortunately, Meta has earnings as well, so Meta will be getting skipped. Marvel at 59.26 does not look too bad. We don't have earnings on this. Yeah, this doesn't look bad. I usually am not a huge fan of Marvel, but only thing we would need to see is contract volume. That's the only downside with that. 59.26 into the 60 break, and then I'd probably just look for momentum above 60 for my target. Yeah, I just have to see contract volume on that one. Microsoft has earnings as well. MSTR does too. Moving on. Let's see. So this obviously has been broken, but did we... MU... Okay. Yeah, I think probably pass on MU. That high from yesterday, or I'm sorry, Friday, does not look bad. But I don't know, I don't really like how we look on the larger time frames here, if I'm being completely honest. Because like if you look here on the 30-minute, this is our prior level, the level from the 4-hour, and we've been holding every candle below this. Other than the one that we broke, we got pulled right back down, and then every other candle has been holding below this level. So I don't know that I would trust that 80-30 yet. NVIDIA. I said this morning that I was looking at NVIDIA to the upside and downside. Tesla was just having its back and forth momentum off the open, and I really wasn't paying attention to NVIDIA the way that I would have liked to be, but NVIDIA actually ended up being a very, very clean play to the downside. However, what does that leave us with for tomorrow? So actually, I kind of like this to the upside. I'll go ahead and leave this here actually, just as a reminder. All right, and then this right here, intraday resistance from today. That doesn't look bad, actually. 108.85, 108.92. I'd look for something above 109 for sure. When we get in these certain conditions where we are having red days in the market after we've had a huge green day in the market, it kind of just puts us into a weird position where we're not really looking at any new lows, not really looking at any new highs. But in a situation like that, the most you can really do is make the best out of that situation. And if we see upside tomorrow, I mean, we've basically got a cup and handle pattern forming here at 108.85. I'd have to see how we set up pre-market, but that doesn't look too bad. I would look to take that to the upside, if I'm being honest. And honestly, on the larger time frames, it looks like we may be looking for more upside out of this again. Anyways, so yeah, NVIDIA looks good. Oracle actually looks surprisingly good here at this 141.20 level. We got a flat top, or I'm sorry, we do not have a flat top from today. But that 141.20 level does not look bad. You can look at this right here, this right here. Let's see, where does that put us? So 141.20, target 142, 142.47, and basically 143 right there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I like this. I want to see this on. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. The smaller time frame looks kind of nasty, but either way. PLTR. I would look at 114.86 high from today into the 115 break, just due to the fact that 115 is obviously a psychological level. The setup itself doesn't look bad either. I would typically want to see some type of bigger setup than just a high, but this leading into 115, since it's a psychological level, I don't think that looks bad at all. So PLTR I like. The only thing we've got to make sure of, or not even make sure of, the only thing we've got to worry about with making a watch list for all this is the fact that a lot of things can change between now and pre-market. So that play may be gone by the time we are actually ready to take a trade. I've noticed, and it's interesting because I used to do all of my charting at night. Like all of my charting, all of my watch lists were assembled only at night, and then obviously I would just come back in the morning and see where things were at. And it's been a couple years that it's been like this, but it seems like every time that I make a full watch list at night, everything is completely broken in the morning. Because like I used to work super late night shift, like 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. So I would have 30 minutes to get home and get my watch list ready before market opens. And so I would make my watch list at night before I'd go to work, and you know, I'd come home and 90% of the plays would still be where they were at the night before. And just recently it's just been insane, the fact that you can make an entire watch list at night, you get there in the morning and nothing is even remotely close to where it was. So it's interesting to me, not the fact that we move overnight, but it's interesting the fact that it used to be like that for a very long time, and it just kind of went away and never came back, if that makes sense. I don't know, I find that interesting. Slightly annoying because doing the charting sessions at night, you pretty much have to count on the fact that half your setups or more probably not going to be at the same spot by the morning. But let's see here. Snow. See, if Snow had contract volume, I would actually really like this, but oh, they actually, oh, I say that the 170s had 1200 in volume by the end of the day, and they are 90 cents, so never mind. I was gonna say they actually had volume today, but not much. I do still like that setup though. I may throw that in the side watch just because the setup looks good, to be honest with you. What is this? That's 161.99. Yeah, that looks pretty solid. Tesla. I don't really know that I'm going to be looking at anything on Tesla tomorrow unless we set up a beautiful pre-market setup. With the way it was moving today, it's kind of moving like it was at the start of the month, which is just back and forth garbage price action that, you know, even when we got the break, we still didn't even see 295. 295 was my first target on this. Even when we got that break, we still didn't see 295. Looking for a $2 move is not much to ask for on Tesla, to be honest with you. So that's interesting. I don't think I'm going to be looking at this tomorrow. I mean, that's subject to change pre-market, but from what I'm seeing right now, there's not anything that I like on it enough to put it in the watch list, and I definitely, if it's going to have the same price action that it's been having, don't really want to even waste my time looking at it. So let's see here. Apple, I'm just going to go ahead and assemble the watch list, and then we'll rearrange everything from main watch to side watch and all that. But Apple's probably going to be side watch just because it has earnings. I'm putting this right at the beginning of the trade idea just so nobody forgets, including myself. looking at the 211.50 flat top, targeting a move to the 212 break, then our next resistance at 212.94. All right, Apple, AMD. Did we have anything on AMD? I can't remember. We do. So AMD, I'm looking at 97.87. $97.87. Targeting a break of 98. Then our 98.37 resistance. All right, AMD, AVGO. AVGO is actually probably my favorite setup out of all these right now, at least. Because AVGO, we have pretty, not easy room, but it should be a fairly clean move with this type of setup. Looking at the 193.37 flat top, targeting a move into the 195 break, setting on momentum above 195. Perfect. DAL, I don't know why I have this marked. Meta, nope. Marvel, yes. Okay, Marvel. You should do a free pre-market charting session in the morning. I've noticed that lots of setups from the nighttime charting already break the next day. So, Louise, the great news. I don't know if the great news is I post my trade ideas every single morning in the Discord, and free members actually have access to that now. So, if you guys want access to the free watch lists in the morning, make sure you click that link in the description and join the Discord. You can join the free trial. You can join the free Thursday. You're going to have access to the watch list every morning. So I do a pre-market charting session. I just do it with the premium members because that's what they're there for. Actually, they're there to take trades and attend lessons. But anyways, I need to take this at the 59.26 high from Friday, targeting a move into the 60 break. After that, my next resistance isn't until 61.50. NVIDIA, what did we decide on NVIDIA? So 108.85. Looking at 108.85 resistance from push intraday resistance. Where Nikita? Seaside, Nikita is not in this lesson, but Nikita's lesson is on Wednesday night, so that is where Nikita's at. Targeting the intraday resistances from yesterday at 9:41, then 109.57. Cool. There's NVIDIA, Oracle. The 141.20 resistance from the 1 hour, targeting a move on this to 142. Then our next key levels at 142.47, 142.97. All right, PLTR. All right, there is PLTR, and then I think that was everything. We didn't have anything on Tesla, so let's go ahead and arrange these here. Side watch. All of these are upside plays, I believe, so. Hello, that is not green. This is green, thank you. VGO's upside, Marvel is upside, NVIDIA is upside, Oracle is upside, and PLTR is upside as well. Yeah, these are all upside plays. So Apple, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the side watch just because it has earnings. AMD, I will put in the side watch as well. AVGO is going to be the top of the main watch, and then I think PLTR is going to follow that. I'm trying my best to arrange these in order of favorite to least favorite. Not necessarily least favorite, but most to least potential. I don't have WAP. How do I join the chat? Seaside, if you just click on that link right there, it will take you to WAP, and I don't even think you have to have an account. I think you can just sign up. Play Tesla 300 calls. Didn't get stopped out though. Nice, Seaside. Yeah, you don't even have to have a WAP account to actually join. You can just join without creating an account. Let's see. I will say it is easier though if you have your Discord linked to your WAP because it just handles everything right there. AVGO, PLTR, Marvel, Nvidia. Nvidia is definitely going to be going above Marvel because I have a feeling we're going to see a little bit better contract volume on that. And then Oracle, let me take a look at this. So Oracle is actually like kind of right there. But I don't trust this to have contract volume, so this is going to go in the side watch as well. So as far as my watch list for tomorrow goes, oh, we had snow too, possibly, or no? Yes, we did. We had snow as well. So I'm gonna just write a super short side watch for snow because once again, I don't trust it to have contract volume. Watching the inverse page pattern at 161.99. Only interested if we have contract volume. Boom. Right there. All right, so yeah, this is the watch list I've got for tomorrow. If you guys have anything you want me to take a look at, I am more than happy to. Just as of right now, from what I've seen on my watch list, I really am not too interested in anything else on this list. But if you guys have anything you want me to take a look at, feel free to let me know. And then also, if you guys want to use the remainder of this time as a little Q&A, I'm more than happy to do that too. So I will leave it up to you guys. Also, I'll put the watch list right here. If you're not in the floor, take a screenshot of it. And if you're not in the floor, also go click the first link in the description, please, and join it up. Because regardless, whether you're free, whether you're premium, whatever you are, you're going to get something out of it. So yeah. Let's see, what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, free members get full access on Thursdays too, so might as well. Might as well join. You got nothing to lose. Let's hope for some price action tomorrow before 10, Dave. That's what I would like to see. Price action before 10, and then we can just be done. Situation is not likely, but that's what I would like to see. If the market is listening or any of the market makers are watching right now, that's what I would like to see. So if you could do me a favor and make that happen, it would be great. Yes, Dave. Yes. The futures are going to be coming very soon to the floor. So, for you futures traders, I'm actually super hyped for that. Super hyped for that. Because then we're branching out of just strictly options, and I know that there's some people that like taking different routes. And am I doing it? Maybe. Maybe. To actually answer your question, Dave, yes. But the way that I'm approaching it is not necessarily something that's a complete main focus. Obviously, because I've got my regular trading that I'm doing, and that's my bread and butter, and it's always going to be my bread and butter. But also, I'm approaching it in the same way that I take trades on SPY and QQQ anyways, right? It's not really anything different other than just you're trading futures contracts versus trading options contracts, which, I mean, there is a difference there for sure, but I definitely think it's interesting. The other interesting thing about it is the fact that you, I say you, me, I don't really use limit orders, and I definitely don't use hard stop losses on my options contracts because there's always going to be a bit of a variable between what the stock is doing and what the options contract is doing. So if I set a specific stop loss on my options contracts, the stock might actually not be doing anything wrong. Like, it might not be doing anything inherently wrong, but I may still get stopped out, automatically on my contracts if, let's say, the spread widens or something like that, right? With that, though, you don't have any time decay to worry about. You don't have any difference between what it's doing and what your position is doing. So it's definitely interesting. Like, even though it's not something that I have put 100% of my efforts towards, I feel almost as comfortable doing that as I do trading options, just because I know like what I'm lacking as far as experience goes. I'm also kind of making up for in the fact that there's less variables for me to worry about, which is interesting for sure. That's the best way I can put it. I'm interested in it for sure. But yeah, I also think it's gonna add a lot of value to the chat, um, which I'm super excited for. I want this to be like the place people go for anything trading. Maybe not anything trading. I'm not a huge crypto fan, but um, futures, options, stocks, whatever. I want the floor to be the place you go, and I think that's gonna add a lot of value for sure. And honestly, in my opinion, if you're a good trader, anything related to the stock market, I'm gonna exclude crypto from this, even though crypto does still count, kind of. Um, I think if you're a good trader, you can make your way pretty well in any market. Um, like, especially if what you're doing is based off of reading price action and just understanding solid setups. Like, I think you are gonna be pretty well off in any market, right? Whether it's options, whether it's you're actually trading shares of stocks, whether you're trading futures, whether you're trading whatever. Like, if you know how to manage risk well, you know how to read price action, and you get really, really, really good at one thing, you're going to be better than most at everything, if that makes sense. So, like, my perspective is I've spent years and years and years and years of my life getting really good at trading options, right? I didn't mess around with a million different things. I picked one route, I focused on that route, I got really, really good at that one thing, right? And now that I'm really, really good at that one thing and I can do it like it's, you know, like riding a bike, then being able to have a sole focus on getting really good at something else is a lot easier because I've already got this, good, right? It's riding a bike. Obviously, there's still certain things you need to do and maintain while you're riding a bike. Like, you still have to have balance to continue riding your bike. You can't throw away your balance and then not be able to ride, right? But as long as you're maintaining and getting trying to improve on those things constantly, that can open up another route to getting really, really good at something else versus trying to start, oh, I'm trading penny stocks, I'm trading crypto, I'm trading options, I'm trading stocks, I'm trading futures, I'm trading commodities, I'm trading forex. How are you ever going to get good at any of those things? You're not, right? You're going to have to pick one route and then focus on that. And then you can build later on, right? So that's why I'm open to the idea. Typically, I would say if I'm focusing on one thing, I wouldn't even want to bring another into that, right? I wouldn't. Why would I dilute my brain power to multiple things when my goal is to get really good at this one, right? But once you get to a certain point where it's, kind of second nature, you can start branching out for sure. All right, cool. If nobody else has any questions or anything they want me to take a look at, we can go ahead and wrap it up. But yeah, the watch list is right there. Make sure you take a screenshot of that. I'm gonna throw it in stocks chat for everybody that's in the floor. If you're not in the floor, click the link in the bio. Please join up. I'm tired of you guys missing out on money. And yeah, even if you're joining the free chat, you get free watch lists every morning. So always got a reason to be there. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. I will talk to you first thing in the morning for pre-market review, and let's